Welcome back to the Department of Context. Last time, we used our trusty translator machine to explore how stories evolve across cultures. Today, we're going to dig a little deeper. Oh, the translator machine got an update last night. I wonder what new features it'll have now. It looks like we can choose the form we want to read. We've got epic poetry, narrative prose, and not sure? Well, I'm really not sure what to pick. So here goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats. We're taking it to the ring with an epic showdown to help decide which form to choose. In the red corner, known for its formal structure, rhythmic verses, and larger-than-life storytelling, we've got epic poetry. And in the blue corner, bringing us more direct sentence structure while still packing in the action and imagery, give it up for narrative prose.
Whoa, time out. In the last lesson, we talked about how Beowulf represents a blend of two different cultures. So why not blend these two forms too? How convenient. We've got a new button, Blend Forms. Let's hit it and see what happens. The forms have merged. Now, as we continue reading Beowulf, we'll switch to a translation that blends both narrative and epic poetry. In a way, the imagery of this boxing match was a symbol of this idea of blending. The boxers each represented completely different forms of writing, but have now blended together, symbolizing the blending within Beowulf. From the merging of two different sets of cultural values to the merging of two different forms of writing. Which brings us to today's mission. We'll be analyzing how imagery and symbolism reflect cultural themes in Beowulf. As we move forward, keep an eye on how the symbols and images we encounter show us the blend of influences that shaped this epic. Access your guided notes in the lesson materials, and we'll get started. We may be changing the version of Beowulf we'll be reading, but the story is still the same. Last time, we met Grendel, our villain, and Beowulf, the hero with the right blend of physical and spiritual strength to take Grendel on. But where is our hero now? Well, Beowulf and all of the warriors sleep soundly in the halls of Herod, as the menace Grendel approaches through the darkness. As we read, focus on imagery. What specific images stand out to you, and what mood do they create? Let's see what the text reveals. When everything was still, Grendel came. From marshy tracts, through mists and swamp-born fogs, the hideous monster made his way to the house he hated so bitterly. Grendel strode fiercely to the door of Herod, and would fain have opened it as usual, but it was locked and bolted. Then the fiend's wrath was roused. He grasped the door with his mighty hands and burst it in. As he entered, he seemed to fill the hall with his monstrous shadow, and from his eyes shone a green and uncanny light, which showed him a troop of warriors lying asleep in their war gear. So, what specific images stood out to you in this passage? Pause the video so you can jot down some notes. Wow, this is packed with imagery. You probably noticed things like mists, swamp-born fogs, a monstrous shadow, the green and uncanny light shining from Grendel's eyes. What mood do you think these images create? Pause the video to add your thinking to your notes. I'm thinking that these images create a mood of dread and unease. The mists and fog make the scene feel mysterious and disorienting, while Grendel's shadow and glowing eyes heighten the sense of danger. We can almost feel the tension as something terrifying draws near. But mood isn't the only thing these images are creating. Imagery often points to deeper meaning. So, what larger ideas might this imagery symbolize? Take a moment to think it over and make some notes. Grendel's approach through the fog represents the looming threat of chaos. For the pagan audience, these forces of chaos, like unpredictable dangers from the natural world or rival tribes, were real and constant fears. Grendel embodies that chaos, threatening the safety and order of Herod. But there's more to it. In the Christian context, Grendel isn't just a physical menace, he also symbolizes sin and moral corruption. The mists and shadows surrounding him suggest the creeping presence of evil, a force that can infiltrate even the most secure places, like Herod. So, this imagery shows Grendel as both a force of natural chaos and a representation of moral danger, symbolizing a blend of the pagan fear of physical threats and the Christian fear of evil. Grendel, then, isn't just creeping through the mists, he's bringing both chaos and evil right to the threshold of Herod. And speaking of thresholds, let's turn our attention to the door of the hall. As Grendel approaches, we see it's locked and bolted. What do you think this locked door could symbolize? Think specifically about what it might represent for the pagan culture that originally told the story and the Christian culture that influenced it when it was written down. Take a moment to think and jot down your thoughts. Let's break this down. For the pagan culture that first told this story, the locked door could symbolize an attempt to keep chaos at bay, protecting the community from the unpredictable forces of nature or hostile threats. The door represents a barrier between order and the wild, dangerous world beyond. From the Christian perspective, however, the locked door might symbolize a defense against sin and moral corruption. It's a way to keep out the darkness and maintain a sense of righteousness and order within the community. Now, think about what happens next. Grendel breaks through the door. What do you think this could symbolize for both the pagan and Christian perspectives? Pause the video and add your thoughts. I'm thinking that, for the pagan audience, Grendel breaking through the door might symbolize the inevitable intrusion of chaos and disorder. No matter how hard the warriors try to protect themselves, chaos can't be fully kept out. It reflects the ongoing struggle to maintain order in a world full of danger. From the Christian perspective, Grendel breaking through could symbolize the idea that sin and evil can find their way in, even when defenses are in place. It represents the challenge of keeping moral corruption at bay, no matter how much effort is made to protect the community from evil forces. So, whether it's chaos or sin, Grendel's breaking through the door shows us that these forces are always lurking, waiting for a chance to invade even the most protected spaces. But what will happen now that Grendel has broken into Herod? You'll have to keep reading to find out. It's time for you to dive even deeper into the text through your lesson materials. As you read, pay close attention to the symbols and imagery. What do they reveal about the larger themes, like the struggle between chaos and order, the influence of pagan and Christian values, and the ever-present battle between good and evil? Just like the battles in Beowulf represent more than just clashes of warriors and monsters, the stories we tell today are more than just words on a page. They carry the weight of our values, our beliefs, and our experiences. So as you keep reading, remember, the way you understand a story can shape how you see the world.
Hey, hey.